Thank you so much, Patrick. Besides our warm and deep friendship, I want to mention that Patrick gave our first Harvard lecture. I was accused by Monsanto of introducing an alien concept called organic farming to India, as if genetic engineering was homegrown. And so we decided annually to hold a Harvard lecture. Harvard was, he was sent to India as the economic botanist, the chief agricultural scientist, because in those days they didn't have a discipline called agriculture. It was called economic botany, when you use botany for economic purpose. He was sent to India in 1905 to improve Indian agriculture, which in effect meant introducing chemicals to agriculture. And Howard says, I arrived, found the soils were fertile, didn't need chemical fertilizers, found there were no pests in the field, and so I decided to turn the Indian peasant and the pest into my teacher. Organic farming formally got named as organic farming after he wrote the book, The Agricultural Testament. The Soil Association was inspired by that. The Rodale Institute in the US was inspired by that. And when we started to celebrate on Gandhi's birthday, a non-violent way of farming, and we called it the Harvard Lecture. Patrick was our first Harvard lecturer because of the intimate link with the Soil Association that Indian farming has had. I also want to thank very, very warmly Maurice Strong for all you've done to put on the agenda the issues we can still struggle for. And I'm so glad you said what the only measure of success at the formal level in Copenhagen is mandatory commitments, not a political circus. We have enough of that in the world. Something more serious is at stake, and a more serious commitment is needed. Now, the interesting thing is, in this period, since '92, when we actually got an international treaty on climate change, we also got another treaty called the Convention on Biological Diversity, which has sustainable agriculture in it. But just like organic farming, natural farming is the orphan of the climate discussion, it even became the orphan of the biodiversity discussion. And both have now a common perversion to them, which I believe only movements can address. And the perversion is, take a problem, there's a positive solution to it in the case that we are discussing organic farming, but don't address the positive solution. Take the negative, take pollution, and say, now let's see how we can trade in pollution and make more money out of it. If the problem was biodiversity erosion, then let's find ways for the predators of biodiversity, for the pirates of biodiversity, to somehow make more money out of that. And this disease of making money at any cost, I think is something that we want and need to address. I think over the last few decades, all of us who've been working on ecological farming have also realized that ecological farming is a solution to climate change. Systems that are contributing to climate instability are also systems that are contributing to hunger. And yet, at every point, systems that make hunger grow and make the climate instability grow are offered as solutions to both. And that's part of what we need to address. I've written a book called Soil Not Oil, and the title came out again out of a speech I gave at a conference that Soil Association had organized, and I think it was the first in this process. I mean, this is what started the discussion. And the book, Soil Not Oil, is basically about the transition from a fossil fuel-centered way of thinking, a way of practicing agriculture, to a soil-based way of thinking, and a soil-based agriculture, where the living soil becomes the measure of right farming. Serving the soil becomes the measure of producing food. You know, over the last 25 years, as we've practiced organic farming, I realized our only duty is to serve the soil and all the millions of organisms. The rest she will look after. We don't have to design the output. We just have to serve as maintainers of life in the soil.